Hello guys, hope you're doing good. So in today's video, I'm gonna look at this new hatchet I got from Esker.
So recently I reviewed the large axe from Esker and I was really impressed by the capability and the quality of that axe. So I reached out to Esker and asked them if we could review their small hatchet, and they agreed to send me one. Using the hatchet for a while now, I used it on camping trips, I used it to clear some trails, and I've got a lot of experience with it. Despite it being significantly smaller and lightweight than the big axe, it's still packed with a lot of capabilities. As you see in the video, I use it to limb trees, I've used it to chop, I use it to split, I use it even to baton, and it performed extremely well. So in a nutshell, it's definitely an excellent hatchet, but if you want to know more, stick around to the end of the video. I'll give the full description and testing of this excellent hatchet.
All right, so let's look at this hatchet in more detail. So as you can see, it's very well constructed. It's made by Esker. I already reviewed one of their other axes. That was excellent quality, very well built. And we can say the same thing about this one. So overall, this is a pretty nice compact hatchet. The overall length is 16 inches. The handle is made of premium hickory, very nice quality. Here it has this very nice axe mask, like the previous axe I reviewed from the same company. Has this very thick leather, so let's take a look at that. So the leather mask is very thick, it's welted, double stitched, has some rivets, and the snap is top quality. So this is very well done. So the head of the axe is hand forged in Austria, but the axe itself is assembled in Canada. This mask is made in Canada, and this handle is made in Canada as well, which is pretty nice. So the axe head has this Hudson Bay type of pattern that I really like. Here you can see the logo from the company, Esker. Has a convex grind. The steel they use is a medium carbon steel. So the head of the axe is 1.6 pounds, an HRC of 53 to 55 at the bit, which is ideal for an axe. So the handle is very ergonomic and comfortable. You can easily choke up here and it has a good grip. It's not too thick either, so it's very well profiled. And at the heel here you have this bump, so it's not going to fly out of your hand. And there's this very nice chamfered lanyard hole. Excellent quality. If we look at the grain orientation of this hickory handle, is excellent, and it doesn't have any runoff down the length of the handle. And if you look at the alignment of the bit to the handle, it's excellent in a straight line. So that's what you want to see. So the fit up of the head to the handle is excellent. You don't have any gaps anywhere. So that's an indication of a very good fit up. And as you can see, they used this wood wedge. They don't need a metal wedge since the fit up is very tight. All right, so let's go test it out.
So this hatchet has more of a Scandinavian profile. It's less thick as a North American axe, making it excellent at chopping. Here you can see it's very easy to limb branches with very minimal effort. But at the same time, the hatchet is still heavy enough that it does pack a serious punch. As you can see, it's very good for chopping compared to many other hatchets I've owned. If I compare it to the Gransford Brooks hatchet with a 1 pound head, this Esker hatchet with a 1.6 pound head bites much deeper in the wood. You have way more power in the chop. So for the last couple of weeks, I've been carrying this hatchet on my ATV to help clear the trail from all the deadfall. Pretty much replaced my Gransford Brooks small forest axe in that role. So obviously, because of the 16-inch handle, it's more of a one-handed axe than a two-handed axe. But I find that for most trees that I found on trail that are around 3 to 4 or even 5 inches in diameter, this hatchet gets the job done very well. So one essential role of a small hatchet for camping or bushcraft in general is to be able to prepare your wood for your fire. So this hatchet is an excellent splitter. I've used it to split all sorts of pieces of wood, hardwood, softwood, rounds, splits, etc. And it performs extremely well for that role. So obviously it's not going to split as well as a dedicated splitting maul, but for a hatchet this size, it performs very well. So if you're confronted to bigger pieces of wood, you can always use it to baton, as you see here, and it's quite easy and it works well. So once you split your rounds into quarter, you can then split them laterally using this technique. That's much safer and gets the job done very quickly. So because of this relatively thin geometry in the convex grind, this hatchet is still pretty good at preparing feather sticks. Of course, it's not going to be as good as a dedicated bushcraft knife, but overall, I think it performs pretty well. So you can get some pretty decent feathers that you would be able to light with a ferro rod. So the flip side of this convex grind is that it doesn't bite in the wood as well as, for example, a carpentry axe that has more of a Scandi grind. But I find that the convex grind is much more robust and much more multifunctional for outdoors use. I find that the 1.6 pound head with the shorter handle makes it very easy to control, very easy to get some detailed work done. So it's a pretty good axe if you want to craft some projects, if you need to prepare a baton, if you need to prepare some tent pegs for your tarp, for example. It works very well for these tasks. So despite the fact that the pole isn't hardened, it's quite flat and has a large surface, making it very easy to pound some wood stakes.
Alright, so let's wrap up this video. So overall, I'm very happy with this hatchet from Esker. So I've used hatchets from many different companies, Husqvarna, from Gransford Brooks, from other companies like JXC, JXO. But this has turned out to be my favorite hatchet. I mean, the construction is excellent. I really like the geometry of the bit. So it's not too thick, not too thin either. Has a nice convex. The edge holding is pretty good. The weight of the head is, I think, ideal for a hatchet. And I like this length, this 16-inch hatchet. It's very useful. I use it a lot. So I've cleared some trails with it. I've gone camping with it. So definitely, it's a great all-around hatchet. So it's not an inexpensive hatchet, coming around $220. But this is definitely a very hard use, very well-built tool that's going to last you a very long time as well. So I really like the proportions of the hatchet. The 1.6 pound head with the 16-inch handle works extremely well. Still compact, but very capable. As you see, this thing can chop pretty well. So it can split wood, chop, limb, it can do all these tasks. So it's a great axe to have for camping. So you can easily carry it with on your backpack. It's not that heavy. But also carry it on my ATV to clear the trails, and it works extremely well for that. So I really like the finish on the head of the axe. Looks like it's a forged finish. It looks very nice. And as I say, this convex here is very well done as well. So I've added the link to the Esker hatchet to the description section of the video. So if you're interested to get one, you can go check it out. Anyways, it's a great hatchet. Thanks for watching.